Welcome to another episode of Project Finance Storytelling with me, Hedieh. In this episode, I want to tell you how to assess the commercial impact of changing the duration of a purchase agreement. Let's go. The one with the shorter purchase agreement. Kofi is the financial director of a power project and has been working on this project for almost a year now. He had a series of negotiations with the authorities and produced a draft power purchase agreement, PPA, with 20 years for the duration of the contract. This morning, while having his morning coffee, he received a call from the financial advisor to the government telling him that the government is considering to shorten the duration of the PPA from 20 years to 15 years, and that he will be receiving an official letter in the coming days. He hung up the phone and sat down in front of his computer and started thinking about what will be the consequences of this decision. He made 3 columns, one for technical, one for legal, and another one for commercial impacts. In this video, we will skip the first 2 and focus on the commercial aspect of this decision. First of all, he opens the financial model and saves the current case so that he can analyze the impact of the change in the duration of the PPA on the model key results. He then changes the duration of the PPA in the timing assumption from 20 years to 15 years. Although he knows that the financial model is built based on the best practices and it is flexible, however, whenever he changes the timing assumptions in the model, he feels a kind of butterflies in his stomach, thinking of a slight probability of the model not handling the change. So he changes the input and he is relieved to see that all is working properly. He checks in the financial statements and all operating cash flows are adjusted to the change in timeline. So now that this is done, he checks the equity IRR and sees that there is around 2% decrease in the IRR if the tariff remains unchanged. To bring the equity IRR back to 15%, the tariff should go up by 0.3 cents per kilowatt hour. He thinks to himself, if I want to negotiate this shortening of the PPA with the government and I tell them that I'm concerned about mine and my shareholders' return only, this is not going to be a very convincing argument. He thinks about his recent discussion with lenders. The lenders are currently proposing to fund 70% of the total project cost with 12 years maturity. He asked the lenders to consider increasing the maturity to 15 years, mentioning the impact that it will have on the tariff. Since it is a development bank, they are mandated to invest in projects that have the most positive development impact. However, if he presents a 15 years PPA to the bank, then increasing the maturity will be out of the question, as banks require a caution in the form of a loan tail between the debt tenor and the duration of the PPA. To put it in numerical terms, he runs the model with 15 years tenor and 20 years PPA, and the resulting tariff is 6 cents per kilowatt hour, while a 12 years loan with 15 years tenor gives a tariff of 6.4 cents per kilowatt hour. If he can get 18 years maturity, then the impact on the tariff is even higher. Average tariff will be around 5.7 cents per kilowatt hour. This is a great argument against shortening the PPA because it involves not one party, but it has an impact on the overall project and on the whole economy. However, in the memo that he is preparing, he will be mentioning the impact on shareholder returns as well. There's the IRR impact, and one reality is that some of the shareholders will not stay in the project for long. they will consider exiting and selling their shares 2 to 3 years post-commercial operation date. When they sell the project, let's say in year 3, to another investor, it makes a significant difference if they sell 11 years of future cash flow rather than 16 years in case of 20 years PPA. Other thing that comes to his mind is the delays in concluding the contract negotiation. Opening this topic will require additional discussion and hiring of legal consultants to redraft the contracts. And this will both have a cost increase impact in terms of fees to the advisor and the timing cost of delay in closing the project. He is now satisfied with his arguments and leaves his desk with a clear mind that now he has enough arguments to put together in his letter to the authorities, hoping that he can convince them against this decision. So what is the moral of the story? First, have a flexible model. And also, when negotiating something, always remember to talk in terms of other person's interest more than your own interest. Or have a win-win mindset when negotiating. I really hope you like this story. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I hope to see you in another video. Thank you and bye. If you want to learn how to build better financial models, check out my online course on financial model spreadsheet design at courses.phoenixmode.com.